Hello everyone, welcome to this healing session. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Eva. This is part 3 in the fascia and lymphatic system. I want to say innervation with life. I have become sort of obsessed lately with this idea of life being at the essence of all experience, and I really want to use this session as also sort of a perception expanding exercise, because I say this phrase all the time, but like the center of all being, like the center is everywhere, right? Everything we see is within life itself, is within the one essence and the mind of the one essence that we share. And so when we're thinking about healing the body, because this particular session is focused on, that never happens in the body. And so I want to use this as an exercise to really kind of see life itself, your eternal essence, your eternal beingness, coming through the center, and just taking nice deep breaths. We could use this as a way in. Coming in from the center of everywhere. And so your fascia is this connective tissue network that really, is aligning and sort of intertwining with all of your structures, that holds you together. Lots of information is stored and flowing. We don't want it really to be stored. We want it to be flowing. And so because our consciousness is everywhere and everything, because this is a projection of our mind. These are ideas that we have, that we give form to. You can see yourself because you are breathing into this structure. Your breathing into this structure is giving this structure its structure. You are holding this up with your consciousness. And so seeing yourself at the center of all of the structure and allowing the essence of your life to come from the center in through all of it. So really allowing as you move through with the codes, because really this multidimensional code comes through to me as this kind of sheet music that is also then weaving like a fabric. And when it is healthy, it is always moving. Giving and receiving is one thing. Nothing is held apart from each other. It is all in awareness of the one thing. And so the fascia is this really beautiful representation of that, in the way that it holds our form together. And it is a network like mycelium. Is that what that's called? This network in the roots of the trees, and they all speak to each other that way. Like all parts of yourself speaking to each other at once, because that is communion and that is unified being. And so as we are breathing into and communing with this newness to us, but also you very much feel at home there because you never left any of these areas. You just have ideas. And so letting yourself be in the center of everywhere, intending for this to flow throughout your body, because we are embodying life. And I'm feeling very called again into this idea of like vertumnus, this cyclical beingness in form. And so it is coming through very strongly with the idea of death. And instead of viewing death as an end, it is these sort of constant, every day we say goodbye to what it was before, like this sort of the cycles within cycles, and the sort of phasing out of things, and like not seeing it as and like annihilation or like nothingness or non-being, because non-being can't exist. So we just see it all flowing. Nothing is gone from you that really exists. Everything is held in the one life. And so sort of as you breathe in and out through this, and you feel that essence of life through you, and you see it come through as it comes through you, and you hear it come through as it comes through you, in whatever way it comes through you, that you really bring this conscious, this perceptual expansion into this center, and really let that replace ideas of separation, ideas of the past being something real. Getting into the essence of the real, tinamoto ruitis, which is life itself, which is eternal, sensantushnakirit, and in union with each other. Kinyam maurutush, with all ideas, kinandashni kanando, ruhinata tikarayas noshanait. In place of what we held separate, we see as innervated completely, still, never not being part of the song, never not being part of the fabric. And it's not evil because it's part of the one thing. Kandratus nushnatri kinindis nikinindis. If we are beholden to and unwilling to let go of ideas of evil as something that we must reject, we will never be free of it. Kinatusun sokoruhun shaya. Kinya, a lot of heartache there. Kinandoro, breathe through that. Shinyandoru hinyantasnitish, let it soften, let it melt. Nandrorun. Instead of maybe sometimes what we think about ideas of to die, and never been my experience. Anantus noshnotodis, there is no end. Kanantushdorot. Instead, maybe think of it as a melting, and all that is then reconsumed within the one. Norun shatakira tikana kiana tushdoro atasa. And just restored back into awareness of itself. And that is a beautiful homecoming. There is rejoicing. There is celebration in that, yes. To go and be and have ideas of different things, and more life, and more life. More life in different places, in different expressions. Hinyandas noruiti kiniani, shinikinidor kinimorut, in new forms, unthought of forms. Hanaini shondo korokun shanandai, kiarat, unthought of combinations. But we get there by opening our borders, from within. Shini titi tiana kunuyu tokoroiti shnindi sansati shiataikina. Somoruit. I'm getting this strong feeling that this will also help with like rumination. If you tend to sort of ruminate on these certain fantasies or longings or past hurts or traumas, replaying things, sort of letting that out. Let yourself feel whatever comes through in this. Kimorushta tinyandayin, hinorastishta kunyandayansa, hi wratasti yaniman, kin shaworumni tanikani, sanshanayas no shatakina, himyoruhtis torhunyata, himyatasni. Hinimawun shikinatin, hinyam naurutin sanayan, kinyam doratis to shikitis natin yorutu, kitasumyanain, hin sandis norat, kinatis notish nandatinami, hinyatakut, hinyomorai, hinyorum narayestorum. Sun sorashti kindi kona pasta, tatis tashnitis nantin, hinatona, shanasa, so shanasa, shunasana kana musna, shanas nu anti, Humnatanayana hunyana hinyonosana shana kana humnata. Drawing attention down into the pelvis. Sonsoni shini nyomo soshtainyatas, and in the base of the spine. Kima sonjakonati sandatin. Tinatoso shakyana sani yanasana. Shanasana wunyata wummatadaka. Hunnasotoshta wunna. Hunna nuyina wunnaya. Humyaso sho. Humyamana sunsho sokotasa. Shumyana yonyoto yasdi. Hyunyostoshti kaya yata unya. Hunyanasni yani yoni. Hinyomorashtokostianam. Kitastiari oashnonosin. Hunyepasi. Shumusosi tapostakina. Humiti orkotis orkota. Hina sumjoko itaya a. Kunoshtati orkunaina sinitayana. Hinatatsana huratiki. Hinasnainya tasatsaun. Hurotoinemianain. Himororkunashtikara. Hinisinitinia morotoshtayiri. Let your body feel good. Don't hold defenses against life. Kinawunya. Sinyontoshnokorkonakanangitat. Nahanin. Nyumorohiti konushnokonahinat. We're reaching a really specific thing here, which is nushnonimatis, this idea of this kind of necrotic flesh. Anisnushnoruin, of feeling like rotting. Kanandos notokonitish. I want to really breathe into this because this will bring up a lot of grief also. And a lot of like isolation, feelings of isolation. Even if you're with other people, it's not just like hiding away. And then feeling misunderstood, all of these things. And for some, depending on your own life's journey here, there is something I have deeply had, and I'm still, when we kind of see through to the separation, when you kind of are able to see through that first choice, and then there's that fine line of kind of walking the veil between, okay, I am aware of life, but I am embodied in this body where I can feel death and I can feel pain, and I can feel an idea of a looming end and a worthlessness and a nihilism. And worthlessness, but that it's worthless to do anything. And that everything here is like disgusting and constricting and just gross and meaningless. There is always a stage we come to where we understand we give the meaning to everything. And when we are reading like specific code, like within the dream and the layers of sort of control and manipulation and all of the things, that if you are not, and we talk about this often, but if you're not, you're looking at it too long, and you're forgetting that life is in it. And so you sort of, when you can see so clearly what is happening on this planet, there can be, when there's a lot of trauma stored, and that's what we're dealing with here, you can feel the trauma of the separation because it's unnatural, and you've come with remembrance of natural expression and organic beingness, what I call like we call like correcting the reversal of this current, right? Like putting the current back into like the union kind of flow. which is like in all directions of everywhere, but that this separation is sort of a anti-life of like abuse to the self, a negation of the self. And when you're in a body, but you're here to remember the one life from within the body, and you're not in this incarnation within the physical, working and navigating in physical experiences that offer safety or a clear expression of love that is uncomplicated and unconditional, and a sense of nurturing and really being held. And at the very fundamental level of our bodies, this is not in embodiment now because of our separation to the earth. Our bodies come from the earth, and we are in forgetfulness about that, and how we are still one with the earth, one planetary consciousness. And so that's a trauma. That is a ripping. And that is happening at all levels. And so when you're acutely aware of that, and the incarnation you're living in is difficult and not supportive, that is an incredible wound. And so there's bracing and there's disbelief. I think maybe next time I'm going to write it down so I don't, in case, I don't know if you resonate with this, but sometimes when you just like can't believe something is happening, and it's just like, sometimes it feels like over and over, you're just like almost seeing it from without yourself, but there's like a shock, and that gets stored. That's all stored. That all, what's held apart in time is all stored. If you're shocked into awareness and then you let it move, that's healing. But if you are shocked and then you brace and you don't breathe and you don't connect your essence back to the one life, that even through this, because life is in this, even this has life in it, and I know that I am safe, and I know that the divine song is one, and nothing is really in discordance with this song, because now this discordant energy has become part of the song, and it's all held within the mind and heart, it's all held within the mind of God. It is all oneness in the oneness. So we are always safe in that. But in the physical, these things are not reflected because of all of the beliefs that we hold against it. And all of those beliefs held against it are held at all these different layers of the multidimensional hologram. And so that's really what we are: breathing, getting in touch with life itself, and then breathing that life through the center of these experiences so we can really see them in a new way. And we don't have to relive these experiences through conscious or intelligent memory, right? Like recalling specific events. But it does have to be brought up in an experience in the sense of a reckoning or an acknowledgement of the feeling, of the emotion, of any label you've put on it, to breathe from the center of that and then to release it, to melt the edges back into the oneness. This is how you heal. This is how you heal your body. This is resurrection of life from within your body without the experience of physical death. It's a kind of death, yes, in the sense that it is a passing away of, it is now a consciousness existing elsewhere in terms of there being a time or place. But there is no death. That it would be a passing away of an idea of something that could not be. There is no death. That is only meaningful in the context of something that could pass away from existence, and that is not possible. But it does change, and within form, it's ever changing. And so getting into the music of life, flowing with that essence of life, really letting yourself, and even just within your own self and your ideas of yourself at first, if because this is a process, this is why this when you shift your perception, this is what time is for. It is for this remembering. It is for getting comfortable from within the self. Then if it takes a while to get within the self so you remember who you are, then things start orchestrating outside of yourself as is needed for your learning, as is guided by yourself that knows, the spirit. Hina urumni shnindi kanain sotokorritis no kuin piakun. Hini sanzak urrushti kinindis nandrai. Shinyanda yitik kini horrukunitian. Shandi korrukurukuiti kinain. Shantakorrukuna trayes nasinzi kinindis doshti kirikanat. Kansantrakunuyun. Shinikim morrukuni shinsindri tayes doshti kininda kanandra kinaini. Hinyanda orruiti kinian borrushtakit ayatasa. I think we're going to end it here. For this one in particular, because I'm going to do this, I would stay in meditation because there's a lot we brought up, but I feel guided to use it as a practice to sort of come down and let that integrate in quiet. And we are always together. There are no bodies. We don't need to continue to run the video for us to be together. So just using this time for yourself to, and in a way, it might be a lesson in taking responsibility, right? When the video is over, it's not like, oh, I did my energy work for the day, right? Like, stay in it for yourself and choose that for yourself to continue where spirit leads you now. And we do all need lessons in taking responsibility for how we use our time, myself included. But now resting in gratitude for this opportunity to be together, one in the field, one in the sun, knowing you are safe, knowing you are already whole, you are already free, you are love itself, you are peace, you are life. You're not apart from life, and life can't be apart from you. Amen. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you want to go deeper into the work, you could check out the links below. Lots going on. Oh, it's 555. We love. And I think that's it for now. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.